The horror genre, while being unsettling yet dopey at times, is subjective at its core. People create their own ideals for the types of horror that should exist, gore-filled slasher films to farcical ghost hunts. The emotions that these experiences induce are unique to the viewer. One might suffer nightmares, while another ridicules the content within. In order to mitigate a minute portion of this, horror can be split into subgenres to seize a more concise audience. Paranormal, monster and cryptid, slasher, and body horror are some a person might turn towards. Paranormal refers to anything that can't be defined by a normal scientific understanding. When it comes to horror, this can be a wide range of possibilities. Personally, I categorize stories of hauntings, demonic possessions, poltergeists, and similar topics as being paranormal. Otherwise, I believe that horror relating to things like monsters and cryptids, Bigfoot, aliens, Mothman should be classified in their own subgenre. While they may fit the definition of what it means to be paranormal, it doesn't conform to what I believe is the general consensus on paranormal horror specifically. The first few movies most might think of are probably something like Paranormal Activity, The Conjuring, The Exorcist, and maybe The Ring. If you weren't thinking of those, your mind probably went to a similar story. This story probably starts with a loving family moving into their forever home. Even though this house was a little run down, the price is still suspiciously cheap. At least everyone else. Everything seems normal until their kids or dogs start having strange interactions. Nightmares, barking at nothing, sleepwalking. Kids are normally unreasonable, and dogs bark at nothing all the time anyways. It's a new house. Or, well, that's how the parents rationalize it. A few days later, the wife starts to hear some noises, or notices items being moved around. Of course, the headstrong husband knows best. This is a classic case of the wife being overworked and too tired to remember doing things. Although once he experiences something unnatural, that's when the dismissive attitude ends. If the family doesn't decide to leave from the terrors within, they'll hire an army's worth of priests and self-made ghost hunters to clear the house. This technique usually works, but hey, if not, they can always put the house back up on the market, and this time, at an even more suspiciously cheap price. A person who watches minimal horror would be attracted to something like this, but the more into horror you are, the less fun these movies become. This is a great reason to know what subgenre of horror would most likely satisfy you. Maybe a corny movie here and there is enjoyable for you, but you're still constantly looking for that next high. Taking a step back, I previously mentioned Mothman, or, well, the monster and cryptid subgenre of horror. In my mind, the gnarly creatures that appear in these works make it one of the more intriguing genres. Popular examples include The Thing, The Blair Witch Project, and It Follows. Unknown entities, with unknown motives, terrorizing people in unknown ways? Not being able to take control of the situation and prevent further chaos from the ravenous hellspawn lurking at every corner is every person's nightmare. This genre speaks to me a lot, since as a kid, I could have sworn that aliens were trying to hunt me down. Was that a breeze outside my window, or was tonight the night I get probed? Along with the occasional, that closet is too convenient of a hiding place for there not to be an alien. My mind was traumatized with the fear of the unknown. Looking back, I probably should have just opened my window and closet to stop myself from worrying about what's not there. But that's just it. If I looked, there's a possibility that there actually was something there, and that's something younger me definitely did not want. Slashers do belong in the horror genre, but they're more of a horror thriller, since they serve to get your blood pumping rather than scare you. Not that I would be terrified if Jason started slow walking after me. These movies deliver you some slight horror, with lots of moments to keep you at the edge of your seat. A good option for someone seeking an adrenaline rush. In the original Scream, Ghostface running around town killing people is a little scary. But the questioning of his motives and who he really is, or where he'll strike next, is what makes a movie like that. In line with this, the element of body horror comes with these movies. Hellraiser has the skin gimp suit guys, or well, Cenobites, that serve to try and inflict the best emotion upon people. Pain. Which I guess makes their Buffalo Bill attire all the more terrifying? Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that not everyone likes horror, but to some extent they might. Introducing people to the right subgenres will help give them the best possible chance to explore horror. Just because you don't like seeing people stalked in the woods doesn't mean you wouldn't want to see them in a saw-type trap. But anyway, that's just my opinion. If you made it this far, thank you for watching.